Welcome everyone. It is the final match of this qualifier. Losers, winners, qualifying match. The best of three, starting off at Mech Depot. In the bottom, this is top. In the top right, has the pink Protoss. It is Goblin.
And down in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, we have the red Zerg player. Give it up for Sidestorm Gaming, Zanster, aka Anton. I always love that guy. He's definitely the life of the party at a lot of events. He's like a cartoon character almost.
Yes, I agree.
You might say that he's an toon.
Nah. I would say more like he's Antana fun.
Hey, okay. I gotta give you solid props for that one. That was a good one.
Nice. Then usually
That's actually much better than most of the ones I've said. Wait,
yeah.
what?
I don't
steal
usually.
It?
No, I said I don't usually get to do this. Be the pun person, the play on words person.
There's always an opportunity with me because I will make a bad one, and then you can make one that looks even slightly better than mine, and you'll look like you made a good pun comparative to mine. So I'm actually the perfect person to do it with.
That might be it. I feel like when Rifkin does it, though, like he makes them out of things I just didn't even think would be punned or played on.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just never prepared to do it too. But
Response.
yours is so obvious. I'm like, well, there's better ones there, Fear Dragon. What the hell, man?
Yeah, it's like there's a guy named with the last name Lin, and he made some food, so he's gobbing Lin's food. Goblin.
Oh my god, that's such a stretch. Okay, we're gonna stop right there. Thank you to Tris for the 28-month resub. Appreciate seeing you back here. And yeah, guys, this started off on Mech Depot in their last series played, same positions too, and Goblin was able to. Hold on, maybe it wasn't this. This would started off with. No, it was, yeah. This is the one where he went for the charge all in, and the Banelings tried to morph in the back right here, and it just couldn't quite work out. Next game, he went for a Resident Glaives all in, and that also worked out well for Goblin. Can he actually just repeat the same thing? He doesn't seem to think so. He goes straight to a Stargate.
And also, we have Zanster just massing out a lot of lings. We have an evolution chamber being thrown down. We have basically what looks to be the exact same way that Zanster tried to handle Hush in Game 2 happening here in Game 1.
Well, some big differences here. So first of all, Goblin already lost one game to sort of the deciding game because he doesn't scout. He leaves when a probe, sees that there's a natural base, and that's kind of it. So that's problem number one for Goblin. Good news for Goblin is that unlike Hush, he actually has a Stargate, which is much better to help out against Lings than an Immortal would ever be. So if he can just hold the line here, because he doesn't know it's on the way, he might be able to buy enough time for more Oracles. But yeah, it's not looking great. Now he realizes what's up. He needs to get a Mothership Core.
Yep, is not starting it up just yet. Just going to be relying on getting out that Oracle first. And the other Overlord is getting in set up into a nice position to drop into the main base. But these Lings are just not going to be able to break through this. Even though they take down one of the pylons, a full wall off is still already prepared. And now these Lings in the main base have a lot that they need to get done.
Spawning a sentry. The Mothershipper's almost done. So many Lings are being dropped in the main base, however, and Zanster, he gets in here unnoticed. Goblin with a mistake. Maybe thought it was just the front attack and that there was a third base behind it. Otherwise, I think he would have invested into a Phoenix to stop at least further attacks from happening.
Yeah, and now you see that all these probes are not even retreating to the natural. They're just trying to mineral walk, but they will eventually start to fall. The photon overcharge is finally used, so it looks like he was just trying to buy time for that, but that means that the natural is going to be awfully vulnerable.
Oh, worst place force, whatever. Clearly panicked. He could have stopped the Lings from coming to the natural. This is why I think it's been overrun.
Oh boy. Okay, looks like there is another pylon powering one of those gateways, but these pylons are also getting target fired down. Zanster just seems like he's overrun his opponent at this point. Even with the mothership there that can go completely untouched, there's just so many Lings causing so much damage, and eventually Goblin is just going to run dry.
I really think this is the case of thinking that Zanster hadn't dedicated as much as he did to it. Goblin is like, okay, he went for a very aggressive opener. I deflected it. I'm probably in an okay position. Sends the Oracle across the map. Realizes way too late how much Zanster is dedicating to it. No third base, not even for like a larva factory. And that Oracle should have been at home this entire time.
And it's actually really small things that also came into effect, where we actually had one Overlord that was ready to go toward the main base of Goblin, but it wasn't the drop Overlord. It was a totally separate Overlord. Goblin saw that, he nearly killed it off. It was like the first scouting Overlord, and he actually may have thought, like, okay, that was the one that would have been a drop Overlord. It's down to like under 10 or 15 health. So surely I've deflected the potential for a drop. If my opponent was planning to go for a drop, he didn't even bother to morph in the drop Overlord. But in reality, drop Overlord was just actually a little bit further north. So like these small little things, Zanster actually did perfectly. He's gonna claim victory in game number 1.
All right, looked a little uneasy in the beginning, but obviously worked out very quickly, given like 15 seconds. The that game just didn't look at all like their last series. In fact, quite the reverse, I guess. Maybe that's what's going to happen. And Zanster's going to get another all-in here and defeat Goblin 2-0. The Goblin was clearly frustrated. I mean, once your Nexus is being attacked, you're usually like, that's game. He let it die. He let the gas geysers die before he was like, okay, I guess I'll tap out.
In his defense also, like, we saw... It's not exactly something that Goblin could see, but like he did feel like, you know, I have a mothership core, he can't touch it. I have an Oracle, he can't touch it. And Oracles are good at killing light units, like, really quickly. And I have more workers than you. Like, it feels like you can grasp at straws, like, maybe I could do this. Just maybe the game hasn't slipped from my fingers. But then you realize, yeah, you've actually been holding sand all along. It's gone.
Yeah. Looks like I missed a couple of subs, by the way. So just real quick, Polyester Nerd, thank you for the new sub. Kinky Mal for the 35 months. Is this the content I paid for? Apparently. Ace Kate, love y'all. And then Griffelis, I might have gotten, but 38 months just says, yeah. Thank you all for the resubs, and especially for the new sub. It is still September, even though it's actually October. You guys are willing to pay $250. You can sub a full sub for us, which is always nice. So just something to think about, as well as, of course, check out bttv.ting.com if you want to learn more about who is sponsoring this tournament, and if you're looking for another type of mobile phone service carrier. I mentioned all these things because we're getting into game number 2, and it could be the last game of the day. In the bottom right is the pink Protoss. He is Goblin.
And up in the top left-hand corner of the map, we have the red Zerg player from Psystorm Gaming. It's Zanster.
A little worried he was going to go for an early pool. One thing Goblin does do is scout for the early pool. It's everything else that he has been hesitant and just, no, I don't want to say lazy, but certainly regretting not going for like a mid-game scout or scout in the third base.
It's always interesting, too, because I feel like, and maybe it's just the games that I noticed he was doing this, he doesn't just send the worker back home to, like, get optimal mining immediately with it. He just sends it around the map, almost like looking for proxy hatcheries or, like, hidden bases or something. I feel like that's what I've seen, like, maybe 2 of the games that he's played against, like, Zerg players. But maybe those just, like, those particular games, and he's just checking around and making sure, like, he's had some terrible history or, like, happenstance where Zerg players are like, I'm gonna 3-hatch before pool you.
Well, this is certainly interesting. If I hadn't been paying attention, this might have looked normal, and that's really the trick to it. Zanster actually went for either a 14 or a 15. I didn't check because he had gas canceled. Hatchery and then a 15 pool. So if Zanster's probably hoping Goblin was just looking in the natural base, because that's what he does. You know, he didn't scout Swordof's main base. He didn't see that Roach Warren. It lost in the game. And if he had just seen the natural, that might have been enough information for him to just back off. But this is actually an earlier pool that could have made some obnoxious lings. And Abyssal Reef having that long wall off would have gotten in. But it has been scouted. The exact timings everywhere. Looks like Zanster's still going to go for, you know, a decent number of lings here, 6.
Yeah, 6, definitely a few more than you would normally make if you were just going to poke in at the front and deal with an adept or something like that. So, yeah, with 10 on the way, we definitely know Zanster wants to repeat last game a little bit.
I guess, so we could see the exact numbers, but I gotta imagine it's really difficult for the person in-game to scout the differences of the supply. So it's usually like 17 19, 18 or something like that. I actually forget the exact numbers, but of like hatch gas pool. The numbers we saw being like 15, 14 or something like that. It's just such a slight difference. Is it really noticeable to Goblin's probe, who was probably more intent on scouting if he had a Roach Warren, not if he had 2 less drones or, you know, whatever it would have been? I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to say, and I think the biggest revelation that we can really have is that he probably didn't, because he doesn't really have much of a preparation, and now you can see he's pulling probes to help try and deal with this, and it seems like he even wants to just try and go for a full wall off as fast as possible, but Gateway goes down. That's the only thing he gets up. This pylon is going to be the next target for Zanster.
He might have, well, he was obviously trying to beat the wall off, which he successfully did in the first place. Now a little, oh, that's not a wall off.
Oh, yeah, there's still a little gap. And if this pylon goes down, yes, there is another pylon going up, but it depowers Warp Gate technology for a little bit. One of the gateways is depowered, and the wall off is once again going to get killed off.
He's building a Phoenix, not an Oracle. He's building a Phoenix.
Oh,
that's not going to help much at all.
Surely that has to be a misclick, right? Unless he's just really worried about Overlord drops?
I think that's what he's worried about, yeah. Plus, he might have started that before the Lings became apparent.
Yeah.
They were all inning.
Okay, well, Militia Core doesn't have any energy for Photon Overcharge anymore. The pylon, once it gets killed off, and Warp Gate technology is still not being researched because there's no pylons over there. He's trying to save up the money for it, but he instead goes for a gateway while he still can. Oh man, what a disaster. But it seems like he is starting to hold this off a little bit.
Well, Zanster is just doubling down here. He's getting another queen, sure, but a lot more Lings are on the way. And if he can break the gateway, maybe he can break through. It'd be great this is an X-Core, though. That would give him a better chance at macroing in this game. But he is... Oh, he actually hit another Overlord. Goblin must have thought he only got the... He got the one Overlord that could possibly turn into a drop Overlord. He was wrong.
This is the second time something like this has actually happened. Now the drop Overlord is done. Oh, but he sees all the Lings moving over to the right. He might suspect something now. He is going back to the main base with one of his pros, but he's not making anything there. He's sending the Mothership... No, he's not sending the Mothership Core that way. He's sending the Phoenix there finally, but it's too late.
Yeah, the Lings have already been deposited, and you could probably, yeah, I was going to say, drop all of those. And there's always the front base to worry about. That's not going to have Photon Overcharge. That's not going to have any units to help deflect the Lings here. Again, only one Overcharge can be used at a time, and it's used. It's gone. He has no other units.
Oh god, and where did the sentries even try to come out in this situation with Lings inside the natural and Lings on the outside as well? Probes doing their best to micro around to try and mineral walk away to safety, but there is no safety here. Warp Gate technology finishes up, but you'll maybe get one unit out before these pylons go down.
The sentries are perfectly positioned to live, but they can't help.
Yeah, I mean, it is the perfect positioning to try and protect yourself, but eventually you run out of force field energy, and eventually all your probes die.
It's the most selfish positioning ever. Bad Protoss.
Oh. Well, I do like also Zanster's decision to go after the Stargate, just prevent any additional oracles or anything from being made, since he doesn't exactly have Spore Claws back at home by any means. But that oracle is out of energy, and it does seem like Goblin's grasping at straws now.
Yeah, down to 6 probes against 17. It's not like Zanster's an amazing economy, but he had enough money to place down a third, and he has certainly enough larvae to get drones. GG.
Zanster is going to be our second player that qualifies for the TING Open Season 4. Congratulations to Anton.
Yeah, 2 Zergs from the European timed and European server qualifier. It's not too surprising, but Goblin certainly gave them a run for their money, almost winning the winners qualifying match 2-1, and then, well, just getting got in the second one. Definitely some revenge coming out for Zanster.
Yeah, the rematch, a little bit unfortunate. I'm sure he was kind of maybe hoping or rooting for, like, oh, come on, Hush, take him out. Like, I don't want to face this guy again. I already showed him some of my tricks, but no, very, very solid play from Zanster. Like, I always love when we get to see a player just adapt in the middle of a tournament. Like, they face the player the first time, and they just get sort of caught by surprise or something, and they figure out the right adaptations to make to handle that player, and just dominate them the second time around. Like, I think that's always just like a really fun and cool thing to see.
It definitely is. You know, Zanster, I don't think it's that he really thought he couldn't defeat this all-inner or this carrier player, which he might have been more worried about the carriers than the all-ins, but it's just that he's like, well, I've seen all these weaknesses, and I really appreciate that second one. I thought that maybe he, like, with the full scout, he would have seen the pool being like a little bit early, but it's so slight. You have to check the replay and be like, well, how the hell do I even see that happening if I never scout it again? It's so difficult. Certainly a tricky little build there from Zanster, but you know, the funny thing is he could have still gone for a Ling all-in, right? Even if he hadn't gone for the earlier hatchery and the earlier pool. That just, I think, kept up appearances and did give him like slightly earlier Lings. So. Yeah.
But I think his presence will definitely be welcome, as well as, of course, sort ofs in the Ting Season 4, as still a lot of room for like those European Zerg players, I think, to qualify. And there is that other qualifier that you were talking about, the second open qualifier. So looking forward to that. And, of course, I hope that Goblin decides to make it for that one, since Croatian Protoss player Goblin definitely impressed me today.
Yeah, the thing about Ting as well, or just anything really BaseTradeTV that has invites, is that we like to basically thank people for participating and trying and showing us good games. Please show us good games. So we do invite people who don't qualify based off their performance in the qualifiers, which is always a cool little addition. So Goblin, you know, it's a good thing that he impressed a lot of people. He might just get another invite. But that's going to be it for today, guys. Tomorrow we'll be back to a bit of the usual schedule with the Corsair Cup, Alima League, all that. But there's definitely going to be a lot of Tang this month. All the groups are going to be played out. There's a lot of work to do before we all start traveling around, going to BlizzCon and all that. So look forward to more games on BaseTradeTV. Please follow the channel down below. Consider subscribing. It's still September, so it's half off for you guys. That'd be super cool. Check out bttv.ting.com. There's just so many T's, it really takes quite an effort to do that correctly. To learn more about Ting, the people that are sponsoring this awesome tournament, $4,000 right now, but the chance to bump that prize pull up if you visit the Matcherino. And as always, we're looking for people to actually sign up so we can continue having seasons 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on and so forth, because we love working with these guys. But Fear Dragon, thank you so much for covering. Rifkin had his power out and Expo wasn't working. It was a whole mess of things, so thank you for coming. You can do your shout outs first.
Yeah, thank you so much. My name is Rifkin, and I am a vampire. Check me out.
That's what he chooses to do. All right, follow me on Twitter at ZG Gaming, on YouTube, Zombie Grub, and Twitch especially. Zombie Grub, doing a lot of streaming. Probably will stream tonight. And also follow the BaseTradeTV Twitter, which is just BaseTradeTV, and YouTube. Thanks for watching, guys. So there's a couple of ads. See you later. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.